Hello,
Yo,
are you a Muslim?
so yeah, I'm Muslim.
All right, so you've obviously been waiting for a little bit. Tony, thank you for liking the live.
I was on a different account. I came on my main.
Pardon?
I said I was on a different account. And I came on this account. Same
Okay.
profile picture. It's
All
different
right,
account.
so today's topic is Islam degrades women. Why does Islam degrade women?
It doesn't.
When Christianity elevates and honors women. Were you here when we were reading the Quran verse?
No, but I know the verse.
You weren't here for that, no?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Go to chapter 4 of the Quran.
Yeah, I know the verse. It says in the Arabic, "Wadribuhunna."
Pardon?
Wadribuhunna. Yeah, it says in the Arabic.
If you don't know what verse I'm going to if you haven't been here, so what are you talking about?
Chapter 4, verse 44. I said I wasn't here, but I didn't hear. Bro,
You said you weren't here, then you just said you're here.
Yeah, for the reading. I left before.
You left
Was there at
before
the
the
beginning?
reading. So you was here in the beginning, you heard the verse, and then you went. That's what you're saying.
You remember when I typed the verse in the chat? I said verse 44.
Okay. So you now tell me, you understand Arabic, yeah? You read Arabic?
Yeah.
Okay. So you now tell me, in the Arabic, does it say beat lightly?
Yeah, you didn't even let me finish. It says "wadribuhunna," which comes from
It says, pardon?
yeah, the word, the root word is daraba. It literally means striking. Nobody would deny
It
this.
literally means what?
It literally means striking. Strike them.
Striking.
Yeah.
So
striking.
if it literally means striking, how are you now saying it means lightly?
What? I'm saying only from the linguistic standpoint, it means strike them. We don't know if hard or lightly. It doesn't tell you anything about this.
Okay, so when I asked you before,
Bro, one second.
When I asked you before,
just one second.
No, listen. When I asked
it's
you
echoing,
before,
bro. You can speak. I'll let you speak, but it's echoing.
When I asked you before, are you wearing headphones?
No, I'm not.
Put headphones on. When I asked you before, I asked you and I said, does it say lightly in Arabic? You said yes.
Are you crazy?
You didn't say yes.
I never said yes. You never asked me this question. Never.
I didn't ask you this question.
You never asked me this question. I never said yes.
Guys, let me know in the comments if I asked that question or not.
And be honest, even if you
be honest.
No, I mean the chat. I'm in the chat.
I know. You're talking to them. I'm saying to them as well. Be honest, because I'll be open. If I didn't ask you that question, then I'll apologize. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I asked you that.
Yeah, no, I explicitly said.
Miley saying I sure did. Thank you for that.
No issue.
Zed is saying he probably didn't hear, so chill. So I guess that is alluding to the fact I probably did ask you that.
No issue.
His ears might be plugged. No, someone said I didn't ask him that. So let me ask you now, right? Just so it's crystal clear. In the Arabic of 434, does it say lightly? Strike lightly?
The verse doesn't say beat lightly, no.
Thank you. So the first Muslim I was speaking to earlier is a liar. Thank you for showing. For everybody
this from the linguistic standpoint.
Thank you for showing.
You want to let me expand?
No, hold on. No, because before I even let you expand, the Muslim that came on before you was trying to accuse me of lying and all of this different kind of stuff. He didn't last long. So I'm just, now we have someone who understands Arabic who's honest enough to say it doesn't say lightly in the text. So when I was saying after I dropped him that it's a false translation.
We don't need all of this. Oh, he lied, and we can just come to the point.
No, he did lie. Because if he said I'm lying, or if he's saying it does say
he's not here.
Arabic,
I don't like to talk about people.
No, listen. Whether he's here or not, it doesn't matter anymore because what he said is recorded. Everyone heard him. That was here.
Finish and let me expand.
All right. So you don't believe Islam degrades women. So tell me now, why doesn't it degrade women if your husband is able to strike his wife?
Yeah, no issue. So disregarding all the bro, it's echoing so bad.
Pardon?
It's echoing so bad. Can you mute for a second?
Headphones on.
Just so I can. No, just mute for a second. I want to test.
No, I'm not gonna mute. Put headphones on.
Just for a second, bro.
No.
Strange, Allah. Very strange. Anyway, look. We're not going to interpret the Quran on our own, okay? The Prophet ﷺ, he said in a hadith in Tirmidhi that if they come with a fashiha, which is evil behavior, you can strike them in a way which doesn't harm them. Okay,
Where does
the
it say?
cousin of the Prophet. I didn't finish.
Where does it say that in the Quran?
I'm not a Quranist.
Pardon?
I'm not a Quranist.
I didn't assume you was a Quranist. I'm asking you, where does it say it in the Quran? No, in that verse you're reading.
We won't find the interpretation of the verse in the
Okay.
verse. That's logical.
Okay, so what was the reason that this verse came down?
The sabab nuzul is a man coming to
Pardon?
the Prophet والسلام,
Okay.
and
For what
talking
reason?
about that. Again,
Why? What was the reason that this ayah
I'm
came
just
down?
giving you the sabab nuzul, the
Yeah,
context of revelation.
Yeah, tell me
cause
why
of
it came
revelation.
down according to.
I'm just answering.
Yeah, explain it. Go on.
Yeah, then stop talking. So he asked the Prophet about his wife. She was disobedient, and then this verse came down with different steps. And and the Prophet ﷺ, he explained this verse, and he made very clear: we don't beat women, we don't hurt women, we don't what's it called? We don't insult them, we don't do anything of that. So can we talk about the interpretation of the Prophet?
So no, you
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
said the reason this verse came down was because a man came to your Prophet and was talking about his wife because his wife was disobedient.
Yeah, in Islam, in the Quran, we have something called asbab al-nuzul, causes and contexts of revelation. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
A verse doesn't just come down.
That's why I asked you what was the reason for the verse coming down. But
I just answered the question.
But you're telling me a story which has that's not where it came from.
Can we come to the point?
Pardon?
Can we come to the point?
Can we come
what
to
it means?
The point is, the reason the verse came down, according to your sources, is that a husband slapped his wife and her dad wasn't happy about it, and she went to Muhammad and said, this guy, I gave my daughter to him and he slapped her. Yes or no?
There is difference.
Yes or no?
There's also a story that's in the hadith. I know.
Okay, so why are you not telling me that story, but you're telling me another story?
Because there is difference.
But why?
It doesn't matter. I can grant it.
You can grant it, yeah?
Do you know anything about this? Yeah, I can grant it. I know the story.
Okay, so how did he strike her in that apparent narration?
It doesn't matter. You want to talk about the interpretation?
Yeah, it does matter, because you said this verse, even though it doesn't say lightly in the interpretation, in the Arabic, it has a wide range of meaning, is what you're basically trying to say. It could mean lightly, it could mean something else, etc.
Yes, and we have to look what the Prophet says, what the Sahaba say, what the scholars say.
That's why I'm asking you though. What was the reason, according to your sources, that the verse came down?
Yeah, the cause of revelation has nothing to do with the interpretation of the verse.
I'm even moving past.
You keep talking about the cause of revelation.
I'm talking about what your sources say was the reason for this verse coming down, and I started explaining to you the story. A man slapped his wife, hit his wife on the face. A man hit his wife on the face, and her father went to Muhammad to say, "This is wrong." What happened after that?
Bro, you want to talk about the interpretation? You keep talking about the cause, it does not matter.
What happened? Do you not understand how this is relevant to what we're talking about?
I come to the point, I'm listening. If you finished, let me explain.
The verse says you can strike, you can beat, you can scourge. It says it's translated in multiple different ways, according to what the Arabic word says. Now you're trying to say that it doesn't mean what the verse clearly is saying.
I said I can grant the cause of revelation, whatever.
Okay, so if you can grant it, how is this not degrading to women? Explain it.
Yeah, we need to look at the interpretation to know what this verse means, what this verse tells us.
If you are saying you grant the fact that this verse says you can beat your wife, you can strike her, you can scourge her, however you want to render it, tell us now how this is not degrading to a woman.
No issue. Do you have a second device?
For what?
To see what the Prophet says about this verse. He gives them direct exegesis on this verse. You want to read it?
Where?
In Jami' Tirmidhi.
Tirmidhi?
Yeah, Tirmidhi.
What's the reference?
Tirmidhi 1163.
1163?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
he lists the, what's it called? The steps, okay? He lists these steps. And when it talks about the beating, it says with a beating that is not harmful to them. You have rights over your woman and your woman have rights over you.
What is it? What's the
And
number?
if they don't come with any evil behavior, then you have no cause against them.
What's the number?
11, 6, 3.
So you said, anyway, let's
Just read the hadith.
Let's go on.
Without commentary, without nothing. Just read the hadith front to
Where
back.
am I? What commentary are you talking about?
I'm saying don't like read it and say all this and this, and just read the hadith.
Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. All right, this is what he sent us to. My father narrated to me that he witnessed the farewell Hajj with the messenger of Allah. So he thanked and praised Allah, and he reminded and gave admonition. He mentioned the story in his narration, and he said, and indeed, I order you to be good to the women, for they are but captives with you, over whom you have no power than that, except if they come with manifest evil behavior. If they do that, then abandon their beds and beat them with a beating that is not harmful. And if they obey you, then you have no cause against them. Indeed, you have rights over your women, and your women have rights over you. As for your rights over your women, then they must not allow anyone whom you dislike to treat or your bedding, furniture, nor to admit anyone in your home that you dislike. And their rights over you are that you treat them well in clothing and feeding them. So,
right. So according to the Prophet,
go on.
What?
Go. Keep going. Explain.
Yeah,
go.
So according to the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with a beating which is not harmful, right? So you can establish this first. You can't come and break her bones and do a suplex, and it's impossible, right?
In that hadith, yes. But now,
okay, perfect.
Now, hold on.
We can continue. I have more.
No, hold on. But now, at best, all you're gonna do is we're gonna read another hadith now, which is different. Yeah.
Are you talking about the hadith with Aisha?
There's more. No, I'm not even talking about that hadith. But before we even read this hadith, you explain what that hadith says. Go on, so everyone knows what you're talking about. The hadith of Aisha. What happens in that hadith you're talking about?
I'm asking you which hadith.
You mentioned a particular hadith. Now you're trying to play dumb. Explain what happens in the hadith.
I'm asking you. I'm trying to help you. All
right, don't worry then, since you want to play dumb. All right, in that hadith he's probably talking about, it's the one where they go to Aisha, and Aisha, who's the wife of Muhammad, says she's never seen women suffer more than the believing women, the Islamic women, because a woman came who was being beaten by a wife, and she had a green mark on her body, like the clothes that she had on, etc.
What's the number?
No, I'm not going to bring it because it's irrelevant for now. But
you don't gonna bring it? You're just going to paraphrase it like you want?
Tell me if I said anything which was wrong or changed.
I don't know which hadith you're talking about.
Okay, go and Google it after. All right, let's look at this. Right, this is Abu Dawud, right? 2459. It says, a woman came to the Prophet while we were with him. She said, Messenger of Allah, my husband Safwan ibn al-Mutal beats me when I pray, and makes me break my fast when I keep a fast, and he does not offer the dawn prayer until the sun rises. He asked Safwan, who was present, about what she had said. Now, I'm just going to stop for a second, right? This woman has come to...
the hadith?
Hold on. This woman has come to the Prophet and said, her husband beats her, he makes her stop her fast, etc. Now, let's continue. Now, he asked Safwan, right, the husband, about this. Now, look what it says. He replied, Messenger of Allah, as for her statement, he beats me when I pray, this is his reasoning. She recites 2 surahs during prayer, and I have prohibited her to do so. So she's basically reciting too much of the Quran for her husband. So because of that, he beats her. Now let's see what Muhammad says about it. Does he say, don't beat her? Does he say beat her lightly? Let's see. He said, if 1 surah is recited during prayer, that is sufficient for the people. And it goes on. He starts talking about the other stuff. He doesn't mention to her or to him, don't beat your wife. or anything along those lines. He just says one prayer is enough. So basically, when you think about what's actually happening there, he's siding with the husband, saying what the husband is doing is actually acceptable. If she's reciting too much of the Quran for your husband's liking, then beat her. It's fine. He doesn't say don't beat her. He doesn't say stop. He doesn't say anything. So you've brought up a hadith which apparently...
You finished?
No, I'm not finished. You've brought up a hadith which apparently says don't beat them or beat them lightly. We've now looked at another hadith which doesn't say anything along those lines. He actually goes along with the fact that a husband can beat his wife. So at best, all you're going to be doing right now is showcasing that there's contradictory narrations in your sources trying to explain what is clearly in the Quran. Go ahead.
Okay, you finished?
Go ahead.
Okay, no issue. So I gave you, look, you gave me a verse, Surah An-Nisa. I gave you a direct exegesis of the Prophet, peace be upon him, on this verse, okay? About the type of the beating. You brought me a complete different hadith, disconnected hadith, has nothing to do with this one, and I heavily assume it has a different hikmah. It's about the salah, okay? About the importance of specific things in the prayer. I think that's the hikmah, the focus, the wisdom of the hadith. I would like you to type the number in the chat so we can also address it. But please, let's stick to chapter 4, verse 34 for a second and see what type of beating this is. This wouldn't be a contradiction because he doesn't say beat her and harm her and hurt her and all of this. The contradiction is affirmation and negation. I see no affirmation and negation. Therefore, I see no contradiction.
Okay, keep going. Or you finish?
Yeah.
You
Just
said,
type the hadith in the chat.
You said
and
I
then,
mentioned. I already said the
again?
hadith. It's Abu Dawud 2459. Abu Dawud
2459.
2459. You now just tried to say, well, this is disconnected. They're both talking about the topic of today's live stream about being able to beat, or one of the topics anyway, being able to beat
just 1 second.
your wife. So
Yeah,
you now trying to say it's
second?
disconnected doesn't actually make sense.
Yeah, I'm saying we are talking about a specific verse, about a specific word in the verse, ضرب وضربهن, what it means, okay, what it means, and you're talking about a complete different hadith which has nothing to do with this. I'm telling you, I can address this hadith. There is
Is
no
the
issue.
hadith about striking women?
Just 1 second.
Is the hadith about striking women?
About a man who struck his woman, yes.
So stop saying it's disconnected.
I'm saying we're talking about
striking
the interpretation. Just 1 second.
We're talking about striking women.
Just 1 second. Striking woman is a broad topic, okay? We are talking about a specific verse.
Striking women is a broad topic. No, it isn't. It's either you can or you can't. You hearing this, guys? Striking women is a broad topic.
The answer is under a specific circumstance, after specific things, okay, you can. That's the whole point. But one second.
Bro, I grant you that. I'm not saying it means you can beat them straight away according to the Quran. Some make that case. Some make that case. Some say no, but listen. Some say and argue like you're trying to do that. There's stages. Some say the Arabic doesn't even grant that there's stages. You can do whatever you want. But even if I grant the fact that there's stages, that's not the point we're talking about. You are saying beating a woman or striking a woman is a broad topic. It's not a broad topic. It's either you can strike your woman, you can beat her. I'm
saying we're talking about a specific verse and you're going to a hadith which has nothing to do with this verse.
It has to do with striking women.
It has nothing to do with the verse we're talking about. We're trying to establish what this verse
it's not just about the verse. We're talking about the topic. The whole topic of striking women.
You can't just go very vague and very broad and we are talking about a specific word and then you go to another hadith which is a complete different topic, complete different story, complete different wisdom behind it. We have to examine it and all of these things. We can't just mix everything together. It doesn't work like this.
So there's a wisdom
by step.
There's a wisdom. Hold on. So there's a wisdom for beating a wife on certain occasions, but there's a wisdom where it's not about beating a wife. That's what you're saying. Can
we just go step by step?
We're going step by step.
I'm willing, look. I'm willing, 1 second. I'm willing to address every single point you bring, but you can't jump around like a kangaroo. It's not working like this.
All right. let's
Can I
go
have the
back.
big screen for a second?
Hold on. Let's go back to basics, right? Just because I feel like we're getting muddied in the weeds now. Number one.
One second.
Hold on,
I gave you a
wait,
hadith of the... Okay,
wait.
go
Just
ahead.
number one. Yes or no? In Islam, can you beat a woman? Yes or no? A husband, can he beat his wife? Yes or no?
It's not under every circumstance
Just
disallowed.
look, just yes or no,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Okay, cool. Yes, thank you. Okay, now explain what circumstances you believe is acceptable according to your religion to beat a wife. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you try everything and she comes with evil behavior and she doesn't listen to you and all of these things, Islam, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in general, He doesn't like when marriages, they are, you know, when they stop and all of these things. There is a last chance, a last attempt, which is a light beating with the focus on like symbolically showing her it's too much. It's not to hurt her, not to scare her, not to do all of this. It's the last thing you can do. The reason for this is we are not like the Christians who just fornicate and break marriages and sleep with other men and women while being married. We don't have this. It's just to protect marriages, and it's the last step, the last step. And if we look at this last step, if we examine this and analyze it, we see, you know what a miswork is, right?
Yeah, the toothpick thing or whatever.
Again?
The toothpick.
All right. Can I have the big screen for a second? Look, even the chat says my voice. Yeah. Can you maybe mute up when I'm speaking?
No.
Strange. Yeah, can I have the big screen?
What do you want the big screen for?
I want to show the cousin of the Prophet, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. He was asked about the very same thing.
What's the reference?
It's wait, let me give it to you.
So far you've said you can beat your wife. It's under certain circumstances, and according to what you're saying, it's only lightly. It's only as a warning, basically, just to show significance.
It's the last step.
Okay, so do you believe? Okay, so based on your interpretation, you believe that 434 is talking about stages, yeah?
Of course.
Okay, so firstly, what's the first stage?
Wait, let me drop and come back. Is this
Pardon? Stage 1 is what? He dropped. Oh, okay, he's back. You were saying stage 1 is what?
Can you hear me better?
You sound the same. Stage 1 is what?
It's, I think, to abandon their beds.
Okay, abandon them from beds. And then stage 2 is what?
Bro, can you just address the topic? Keep waffling around.
I'm waffling.
Can we talk about what this word means?
What word?
ضرب وضربهن.
No, because we're not even done with what we're talking about yet.
What are we talking about?
You
brought up this verse. You asked about the linguistics of the word strike.
I'm asking you about the stages. You've given your interpretation, which is you can do it, but it doesn't mean anything severe. It's a light beating or a light striking, and it's only with like a toothpick, basically. So it's basically nothing. It's just to show that it's
no issue. So according.
Okay.
According to the Prophet,
So now I'm asking you. So now I'm asking you about the stages. You're saying stage 1 is what, according to the verse?
We're not talking about the stages now.
I asked you because you said you believe in stages. So I want to walk through these stages step by step. Because this is the key to your whole interpretation, basically. It's stages.
He was talking about the word وَضْرِبُهُنَّ, and we're trying to examine what it means. Can you just address it?
Pardon?
We're trying to see what this word means. Can you just address the topic?
We're trying to see what the word means.
Just 1 second.
Okay, so
one second. Still speaking. You asked me about this verse.
You're trying to jump around, man. Just stop.
Trying to focus on the point.
No, yeah, and we're focusing on stages right now.
And you don't even give me the big screen.
You're saying the last stage is to strike, right? But it's not even. But it doesn't mean strike. Basically, it doesn't mean how most people reading this would think what it means. So you're saying you go through stage 1, then you go through stage 2, and then you go through all of the stages, and then at the end, this is clearly an elevated set of stages. And at the end of not talking to them, not having relationships with them, banishing them from the beds, etc., all of that stuff, after all of that stuff, then all of a sudden, instead of actually elevating it to something more serious, you're saying it's like some joke. It doesn't really mean strike in the way most people will render it or understand it. He's now actually not getting more serious.
That's actually boring, bro. Look,
say that again?
I said that's boring.
It's what?
It's boring.
It's burning.
No, I'm saying this conversation is boring.
Okay.
Look, listen.
If it's boring, don't worry then. Right? You're obviously, clearly, you don't want to answer simple questions.
I answered your question. I said the word in Arabic means strike, beat. We all know this. It doesn't tell you how.
Okay.
Slightly, hardly, it doesn't tell you.
Yes.
In the verse.
So obviously, how is the description and definition you're giving as a final stage really a final stage? That's not even that, like,
because
the first
it's the last stage mentioned in the.
It's not even as serious as the first stage.
So beating is not as serious as not talking to your wife.
The way you're talking about it, saying beating, that's what I'm talking about. You're explaining it as if it's not anything serious.
It's not me explaining it. It's the Prophet. Peace and blessings.
You're explaining it in that way. How is?
No, I'm just.
How is using a toothpick and just like showing it in front of her face or whatever, as if like,
that's what the cousin. That's what the cousin of the Prophet said.
I'm being serious now. I'm being serious. This is really serious. How is that more significant than not talking to your wife or banishing her from the bed and all of that kind of stuff?
You're acting very, very strange.
I'm acting strange. I'm asking you a simple, logical question.
We could make
that
progress.
Most people with a brain would ask.
Just 1 second. We can explain this verse in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and continue talking about something different. Just keep hanging on this point. It looks very easy. We don't come and
why should we move? Why should we move from the point if the points you're making aren't reasonable? You want me to move from it. Why should I move from it?
You want to hear?
Yes, I want to hear something which makes sense, something which is reasonable.
So again, and for the last time, I'm not going to repeat myself, okay? This verse doesn't tell you if light or hard. The Prophet and the companions and the early generations and the scholars, they tell you what type of beating this is talking about, right? We don't interpret the Quran by our own desires or by our own feelings or by whatever.
Okay.
According to the Prophet, a beating which does not cause harm. According to the cousin of the Prophet, many of the predecessors and majority of the scholars, it's a symbolic beating with this wooden toothbrush, right? So there's no issue.
So when I asked you earlier on about...
I showed him Tafsir al-Tabari, he doesn't want to give me a picture.
Listen. When I showed you earlier, when I spoke about earlier on, and I asked you about why the verse came down, and you gave a different example, I spoke about a specific example which says this is why this verse came down, and it's an example where a husband hit his wife on the face. How does that correlate? How does that link in with your traditional symbolic toothbrush, toothpick, whatever you want to call it, beating? They don't go together.
So you concede on this point, and we talk about the hadith you brought up in Abu Dawood, right?
Say that again.
I said you concede this argument, and we talk about the hadith in Abu Dawood you just brought up.
I'm not conceding anything. What are you talking about?
So you're jumping to another topic without conceding?
No, I'm taking you back to something I asked you about initially, because you are saying this is symbolic. It doesn't really mean what we think it means. So I'm saying to you, how does what your sources say about how the verse actually came down, linking to what you're saying about tradition. All at best, if your traditions are correct, which say this is if your traditions are correct and this is why this verse came down.
I just have a clarifying question. Are you saying
because a husband
because
a husband hit his wife on the face?
Yeah, just 1 second.
You can't now try and say stop interrupting me, man. You can't then try and say that this is symbolic when the very reason your Islamic sources say the Quran verse came down was because a man struck his wife on the face. And she wanted retaliation. Her dad wanted retaliation. And Muhammad said, okay, yeah, go and get retaliation. And then he said, wait. Gabriel has just come to me and given me revelation. Very questionable guy. And said, well, no. This is not how it's going to go. And then 434 came down. So
you're just taking a 1 second. How does
that relate to a toothpick or a toothbrush? Explain it.
Again?
Explain it. How does that link in? How does that link in with why the verse came down? It doesn't.
Yeah, the hadith you bring up has nothing to do with the cause of revelation of the Sabab Nuzul.
It doesn't have anything to do with 434, did you say?
You just said the cause of revelation. The hadith and Abu Dawood is not the cause of revelation.
I'm not talking about Abu Dawood. What are you talking about? I said the reason why the verse came down, according to your sources. I'm not talking about Abu Dawood. I gave you Abu Dawood as an example to show you that just as easy as you can say, oh, there's this hadith saying don't beat women or beat them lightly, there's other hadith which show the opposite, that you can beat your wife for whatever reason. But even if we scrap that, I'm talking about why the verse came down. This is literally the reason why this verse is in your Quran, according to your sources.
Let me ask you and you're
running away from it. Why are you running away from it? So explain it. Link the reason this verse came down, according to your sources. The guy hit his wife on the face, and the toothbrush, toothpick.
What source?
Okay, hold on.
Let me ask you a very direct question. Okay?
No, just answer the question I'm talking about. Don't run.
What is running from you? You lack basic knowledge. Would you say it's justified under any circumstance to cut your wife's hand off?
We're not doing that, man. Just come on, man. Be serious.
It's a simple yes or no.
We're not doing that here. Stop running.
I would say no.
Stop running, and answer the question.
I answered like 4 or 5 questions. Can you tell me if it's immoral to cut your wife's hand off?
Stop running.
I'm not running.
Stop running. Right, stop running.
That's a bad rhetoric.
Stop running, bro. And just answer the question.
Stop running.
Answer the question.
Stop running.
Stop running. Answer the question.
Stop running.
I know you don't like it, but just answer the question, bro.
Yeah, what's the source?
Pardon?
What's the source?
The tafsir on the verse.
Which one?
You don't know it. You don't know any of the tafsir that talk about it.
Which tafsir?
All right. Wahidi.
I don't take Wahidi.
Pardon?
I don't take Wahidi.
So what? So you want to run away from, as you're doing anyway. I guess it goes with what you've been showing anyway from the very beginning. You don't like something, you run away from it or explain it away or whatever. What a surprise. So you think
So is it okay to cut your woman's hand off?
We're not going there, bro. I'm
just asking a quick question.
You think that's gonna help you here when it really isn't?
No, I'm just asking the question. We can continue talking about
you think that's gonna help you here, but it really isn't.
Bro, I expected more, man.
If you didn't
sitting on your videos, yapping,
you expected more. Yeah, you're running from.
Let me ask you a question.
You're running from your sources, and the best you can do is throw one of your sources under the bus.
Do you know that I absolutely do not take you serious?
Okay, don't take me seriously then. Who said I took you seriously? Everyone can hear you, and as seen how you've embarrassed yourself, and just as you wanted to run away from everything that you didn't like, it's simple.
Can you elaborate on how I embarrass myself?
Pardon?
Can you elaborate on how I embarrass myself?
How you embarrassed yourself?
Yeah.
I think it's safe. Everyone can hear it, man. Everyone who watched
Yeah,
and
how?
listened can
Can you
hear
give
it.
me a question I didn't
No.
respond to? A blunder I made?
No.
Hmm?
No. Guys, this is what we're dealing with. Someone who will go away from, and that guy sounded very familiar. I'm not even going to lie. He sounded like someone I spoke to before. And someone was saying earlier on, I saw something about he should turn his effect off. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was changing his voice. And thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you. Guys, don't forget to like, hearts, all of that good stuff. Yeah, you can laugh all you want, but it's safe to say he clearly did expose himself. This is what you're going to deal with. You'll see people who will say certain stuff, you show them sources, and you saw, I don't take from this guy. I don't accept this. I don't accept this narration. I don't accept this. And you know what's even funny? I'll just give you one example, right? Earlier on, when I was talking to him about where this verse came down from, he started telling me, oh, this verse came for some reason. And I was like, that don't really sound like the reasons I know for this verse. So I now started talking about the reasons this verse came down, right? And he says, oh, well, there's different narrations. He didn't say at the time he doesn't take from this guy, for example. But all of a sudden, when he's asking for a source and I gave him one source, he turns around and says, well, no, I don't take from him. That was his escape route for him to say, well, I don't believe in that, or I don't accept it. So now just forget about it. That's what they do. They throw stuff under the bus as much as possible. And then what he wanted to start doing is trying to run away and start trying to go into the Bible and ask these funny questions in these funny ways to try and set traps.